Welcome to the Louie Belina Show Wednesday. The Louie Belina Show presented by CC Electric. Let me share. It is action-packed. I don't mean like gunfights and kung fu fighting. It's action-packed. Well, I'll share. You decide for yourself. 11:20, right about, Chip Howard of Chip Howard Sports Talk will join me inside the Charles Schwab studio. 11:35, a listen-in. Bucky McMillan, A&M basketball head coach, an Ole Miss preview. Tonight, 6 o'clock, Reed Arena, A&M Ole Miss. I think it is the must-win game of the year. It's a phrase people have been avoiding. A phrase that, well, they got 5 more after that. I don't know. I think you're in trouble if you can't beat a team that's lost 7 straight, a team that's 92 in the net. I know you're struggling too. But you need to beat Ole Miss tonight. 6 games left in the season. If you took a look at Joe Lunardi's bracketology yesterday, A&M is bubbly again. A&M is back on the bubble, a 10 seed. They're on the last 4 byes, but that's the bubble. You need to beat Ole Miss tonight. We'll talk more about that later. At 12 o'clock today, also joining me inside the Charles Schwab studio, Tony Catalina of the Austin American-Statesman. And we'll talk Aggie Baseball. We'll talk Aggie Basketball. We'll talk Aggie Football, because Tony is the A&M Athletics beat writer for the Austin American-Statesman. Tony's also awesome. He's a lot of fun to hang out with. At 12:35, we head out on the D4 Land Services hotline, and that's where many a guest joins me, is on the D4 Land Services hotline. And at 12:35 today, it's that time of the month I look forward to. It's our monthly beer recommendations with Alan Ward of Brigadoon Brewery. He joins me a couple of times a month. We talk beer, craft beer, the making, the tasting, the brewing, the business of. Now, one of those couple of times a month, and that is today, he's got between 4 to 6 different beer recommendations. We'll talk about that at 12:34 on the D4 Land Services hotline. I got more. I told you it was an awesome Wednesday. I told you I was excited. I told you I'm ready to go. Hey, you can text me at 979-693-1150. Program that in your phone, please. 979-693-1150. That is the number for the Texas Mobile One Lube Express inbox. Texas Mobile One Lube Express, owned by Gabriel Garcia. Text anytime. Text me. Text any guest. Just text when you feel like it. B, I'm going to register one more person sometime between now and 1 o'clock. You can have a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Creed, the legendary Creed, a band that can lift you higher. They could take you to a place that I don't know all the lyrics, but that Creed. Maybe we should do all Creed Wednesday, but don't they only have like 3 songs? That'd only be like 1 hour. But still, you can win tickets to go see Creed at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. Listen in. I'll tell you when. It'll be caller 5 when it's time. Oh, yeah. And these tickets, I got to thank Grachalski Sausage Company. They have partnered with the Louie Belina Show before. They're big fans of music like I am. They're fans of the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. I'm fans of theirs. They do amazing work. They do. And Grachalski Sausage Company, give you a heads up, they got 2 locations now. South Main Street, Bremond, South Main Street, Calvert. Check them out. They've been doing artisan meats, custom processing, their old school, Polish recipes, their own since 1952. Let us begin our day. Aggie Baseball. Last night, they hosted A&M Corpus Christi, a game that one of the hot talking points was the first pitch via drone. I just want to hear from anybody that was there. Was it as cool as it sounded? Because I didn't go to the game, so I didn't get to see the drone bringing the ball in for the first pitch. I got to see some still photos. Sounded in concept freaking awesome, to be honest with you. The story of the game, two-parter. 4 homers, 3 from true freshmen, Perdita, Kellner, and Wilson, all homer. And then Gavin Lyons, he had 1 oopsie, back-to-back jacks in the second, but 5 innings, 6 strikeouts, no walks, only 4 hits. It was an outstanding start for Gavin Lyons. So 4 homers, 3 freshmen involved in that storyline. You ended up having Wilson made his first start for Terrence Kill, and he goes yard. That's a hell of a debut. This game was 3-3 mid-7. It's not exactly what you're looking for in the midweek against an A&M Corpus Christi at all. But the response, putting up, 2 in the bottom of 7, 3 insurance in the 8th, 8-3 final, got the dub. Yes, they did. 4 homers, continuing the power attack home run derby of the A&M offense. Big fan. We got to see Juan Vargas. He was the transfer from Tennessee Tech, made his first pitching appearance. I was stunned he didn't get to pitch against his old team, Tennessee Tech, over the weekend. I really was. Let us listen in. A&M baseball head coach Michael Early. He'll go deeper into the win over A&M Corpus Christi last night.
Coach, the 3 true freshmen that homered tonight, what have those kids shown you that they need early playing time in the season, and how impressed were you with their performances today?
I think the thing that really helps is they're super talented, right? Like, you got to have a certain level of talent to play in the SEC or any college baseball as a freshman. But they've also had some really good performances in practice where you feel good about putting them in there. They don't, Jordan's still got another gear he can get to. The other 2 are on that gear trying to get to the next one, but they're all super mature and they work really hard, so you feel comfortable putting them in there because in the end, they're all competitors.
You talk about the lineup as a whole, just the resiliency to kind of battle and then kind of break through in the end of the game there.
Yeah, I thought their guys, like, that's a good freaking team, man. Like, they're scrappy. That was real stuff on the mound, and it's definitely a step or 2 up from what we saw all weekend, and they presented a little bit of a challenge, which was interesting because if you look at our team as a whole, predominantly we got a decent amount of ride fastball hitters. So what do our guys see all the time is that we had a game where Gavin Lyons really chewed us up with that arm side run sinker. We went all weekend, and that's pretty much all we saw. And they came out and had a lot of low slot or high, like ride and run heaters, and that's what we really train on a lot. I mean, the SEC is pretty much a ride league. Like, you got to win the top of the zone and get above it. I didn't think we did that consistently, which is why the game kind of drug out. I mean, credit to them for hitting their spots, but I think for us, we got to be able to hit different looks. Bring in a sinker guy, bring in a ride guy, but resilience, absolutely no panic. Kept grinding, got on base when we needed to, got the hits when we needed to get it. So that was a plus. Like, you got to play. I mean, that wasn't a 5-run game. Like, that was tight. That was good for us to play in. We did great this weekend. Those are fun. Those are not going to happen a lot, right? So games like that on a Tuesday, and getting up after an awesome weekend, I'll take that every day of the week.
What did Nico's homer kind of do to get a little bit of a catalyst spark plug going? Because it seemed like from there y'all started to get some crooked numbers.
Yeah, it's always good to get on the board, right? Get the first hit, get the first run, and it's like, okay, we're right in this thing. But I just go back to, like, Gavin Lyons' performance was awesome. I mean, you guys know how these Tuesday games can go. It can turn into a bullpen. I mean, look what they did. For him to give up those 2 home runs, and then they weren't bad pitches, and then just keep going, and get to the 5th inning, I just thought he did an unbelievable job. And he, Darden, Fresh, and Juan, they all allowed us to do what we did offensively. It was a really, really good team performance.
I guess to that point, just what was it about Lyons that he was able to just shake those off and keep it going?
It was a big step for him, right? Because we've seen him, like, he pitched well last year, and he's had some outings. I mean, practice predominantly, so I'm going off a ton where maybe he gets touched up a little bit, and then it goes south. But he just kept throwing his pitches. Like, those guys, those were good hitters that hit those balls. Like, those are good players. He just kept going. The breaking ball has gotten a lot better this year, so he's able to pitch like this, and not just one side of the plate, which is really beneficial from a really unique arm slot.
Gavin seemed rattled at all when he came back into the dugout?
Rattled?
Yeah.
No, not at all. Not at all. He did like a little spin pirouette on the way out before he came out and caught a cramp, so he should probably not do that again. But he was coming out of the game anyway. No, he was like this the entire time.
What does it say about Jordan to bounce back from an over 3 start and stay with it? Was there any conversation had with him? Any thought of even lifting him? Anything like that?
No thought of taking him out of the game. Like, we need that guy to play. He needs the experience. You can see what he can do. He just needed to relax, get his swing off, not think too much. He's so coachable to the point where sometimes it's almost too much. Like, he's gonna do everything he asks. It's just like, dude, just relax. Get your swing off, trust your strike zone control. He's going to help us. I mean, he's going to carve out a role one way or another, but we need some left-handed hitting, and you can see what he can do.
Saw Chris in the dugout. Was he close to playing at all tonight?
Yeah, pretty close. I think Friday. Hopefully, we're good to go on Friday.
Speaking of Chris, not having him in the lineup, not having Sorrell's best night, what's to say to be able to still put 8 points on the board with a couple of your key pieces not really contributing?
Yeah, I mean, we just want to be able to plug and play, right? Obviously, like Sorrell, what a humbling game baseball is, right? Like, you can be up here 1 second and you're down here, and he's gonna be fine. And Chestnut did an awesome job, got in there, just a great piece to have, and all those guys contributed well. I mean, we're playing, man. It don't matter who's on the field. Like, there's 2 things you can do in a baseball game: you can win or you can lose. You're in the game, we're trying to win, and I thought those guys really battled and really grinded.
Anything else?
A&M baseball head coach Michael Early after the win over A&M Corpus Christi last night. Again, storyline: 4 homers. Home run derby continues. 3 by the true freshman, including Wilson, who played in place of Terrence Keel last night. Yard work, outstanding. Again, Gavin Lyons. Look, I have a text message that says, I was there, Lou. Lyons did not look good. There was a dozen balls hit to the track. And then it also says the warning track, but the wind was blowing out 20 miles per hour, to be fair. So he even explained why, but still felt the need to text that he wasn't good, even though there was a reason why the ball was flying far. Really weird text message in my universe. But really, the ball was flying to the track. He had a dozen balls go to the track, yet the wind was blowing out hard. Kind of the 2 things are probably interconnected. On top of that, look, on a Tuesday night, if you get 5 innings, and I don't mean 5 and 5, but 5 and 2 on only 4 hits, I don't care how on Tuesday nights. Last year, they were throwing 7 pitchers every Tuesday night, and it was destroying them. They had to bring in some of their weekend guys on Tuesday nights, and it was destroying them. They did throw fresh corn in a non-save last night, but they did not know it was going to be a non-save because it was 3-3. And they didn't even put the game away until the bottom of the 8th, so I'm sure fresh corn was loose and warm, so why not at that point put him in, right? So I understand how he ended up throwing in a non-save situation. And he got hit. He struck out the side, but he got hit in between. But if your Tuesday night guy goes 5 and it's 3 or less, it's a really good start. Yes, and because he's the 4th starter, and you're going to say, but it's A&M Corpus Christi, but he's the 4th starter. It's a relative comparison there. So, no, it was a really good start by Gavin Lyons. Really good start. 979-693-1150. You can light up the Texas Mobile One Lube Express inbox. J84, drone was cool, but nothing. Let me pull it all up here. Drone was cool. The first pitch drone. Drone was cool, but nothing like DKR Whataburger Taco Field drone show does. Yeah, I've seen a lot of video. And at DKR, they do a massive drone show that gets a lot of national attention. I'm kind of pro drones. They're kind of fun. You can do a lot of things with them. But last night, first pitch drone. I'm going to give everybody a heads up right now. Whoever is running the Aggie Baseball socials is on fire. Like following them on Twitter X. whether it's the infographics or the photos from the game, during the game, before the game, after game, Aggie Baseball Social is on fire. And I'm not talking about talking of ticks and grams that went instant and any of that stuff. Just the basic socials is really, really good. It adds so much to the Aggie Baseball experience. So if you're an Aggie Baseball fan, don't be scared to check it out at all. It adds so much to the experience. Now, up next for Aggie Baseball, hosting over the weekend, Penn. Not Penn State, just Penn. And I had to check this out. Penn has not played a game this year. Penn will open their season against Texas A&M. Oh, it should be ugly this weekend. It might be uglier than the Tennessee Tech series. Whoo. Yeah, Penn did not play last weekend. They opened their season with Texas A&M. Whoo. I would expect that the home run derby basically should continue against Penn. I'd really just like to see a much better pitching over the weekend. Let's grab us a timeout. We're just getting started here on the Louie Belina Show, Wednesday edition. Chip Howard Sports Talk legend, will join me inside the Charles Schwab studio. That's what's next here on, well, the Louie Belina Show. I already said that, on the Zone.
Home, on the road, or Omaha. You can hear Aggie Baseball on the Zone.
The Louie Belina Show presented by CC Electric. Built on faith, family, and community. That is CC Electric. Wednesdays, 11:20. I'm joined inside the Charles Schwab studio by Chip Howard Sports Talk. You listen in afternoons 4 to 6 p.m. here on the Zone, 11:50 a.m. and 93.7 FM. Chip, how you doing, brother?
I'm noticing Canada and Czechia are tied at 2 after 2 periods of the men's hockey game. That's interesting.
You didn't have USA and Chechnya in the gold medal match?
Very interesting.
You didn't. What did you
And
have
I
for the
didn't
gold
realize
medal?
the U.S. men were playing this afternoon. I thought they started tomorrow, but
The gold medal match is at 8 a.m., right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
The gold medal match for the women is at noon today.
Yeah, don't you love, these wonderful prime time for the events of the Winter Olympics? Gold medal hockey is at 8 a.m. and, the women are at noon.
I'm guessing they will replay that gold medal hockey in the evening prime time if they happen to win.
Men's finals, 8:10. It's right on our TV set now inside the Charles Schwab studio. 8:10 a.m. Eastern, which is 7:10 our time.
That's crazy.
A.m. If you want to watch gold medal hockey.
What day is that?
Sunday.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's the Olympics.
Hey, I'll tape it. It's okay.
No, I already know the result. I can't watch things I know the final score of.
I won't know the result.
Yeah, you will.
7 a.m. Sunday morning? No.
You'll be up. You
No.
got to get ready to go to church.
Yeah, but I'll be there. I won't be checking.
I get so many score alerts on my phone. I can't avoid anything.
I don't do a lot of that. So
You don't get score alerts?
Yeah, I get some. But I think that I will not know the results when I sit down to watch it when I get home Sunday.
Chip, I got my question of the day, and of the day means I'm going to ask you, and then I'm going to ask Tony Catalina. Is this a must-win tonight, Aggie basketball over Ole Miss?
A must-win according to what parameter? I mean...
To make the NCAA tournament.
Okay, well, that's a different question.
Well, what else is there in college basketball? For seeding in the SEC tournament? There is no other goal but to make the tournament.
I would say it probably is. Depending on how the rest of the season plays out. But I don't think you can lose to Ole Miss. They're already right on the bubble, right?
This week, they moved back to the bubble. They're a 10 seed according to Lenardi, which is last 4 buys, but Ole Miss is 92 in the net.
Yeah.
That's like quad 3, and that's a poison arrow this late in the season.
Yeah, you can't lose that game.
What's your gut telling you?
I don't know. The team has looked tired. Coming back home might help. I think having the core there will really give them a boost because, It won't be a well-attended game, but the core being there, I think, will add a little juice to the arena. I think they couldn't have picked a better time to do that. So I think A&M will win.
I believe they're going to win both games this week because even though they've fallen, they're facing some bad teams.
Yeah.
They're teams that never stood. A&M may have fallen, but they're facing teams that have never stood.
Oklahoma has won a couple, and they can be dangerous offensively, but they can't play any defense. They're terrible defensively. So, yeah, A&M should win, but that doesn't mean anything. I really thought Kentucky should win last night at home against Georgia. I really thought Texas Tech should win against Arizona State, but I kind of saw that coming after that emotional game against Arizona. You know, that was just a horrible schedule to have to go to Arizona, play the what was the number one team, and then come back to Arizona State and play that game. And then, of course, they lost Toppin, and I haven't seen today. Their whole season could be over. You know, it didn't look like it was one of those season-ending injuries, but if it was, you know, they're done. Which that's a team that can be in the Final Four without question. So this time of year, Lou, you know it is really weird because these kind of games, those Georgia-Tennessee games, we've seen it now for 10 days. These kind of games happen every February.
North Carolina had like their greatest win ever over Duke. It's the first time they've ever beat Duke on a game-ending shot.
In fairness, they're really beaten up.
I know, but still, they beat Duke. That's the kind of thing should propel.
That's crazy.
And they've had two, including over the weekend where NC State like blew them out. Or was that Monday?
NC State was last night, but Caleb Wilson is out. I mean, you know, come on. They take the 1 or number 2 top draft pick and you get him out for the year. They're not. You know, they'll be in the tournament just because of what they've done so far, but they're not going anywhere, Lou. They're not.
They haven't
going
for
anywhere.
a while.
No.
Do you like college basketball when the blue bloods are blue bloods, or do you like college basketball a little more like it is now, where there's more programs we're not used to?
What makes the tournament fun is watching all of the teams that shouldn't be there beat the blue bloods. I mean, that's kind of what makes the tournament over the years in that first 2 rounds. But after that, generally we have just all blue bloods after that first weekend.
Sure. Cinderella's the first opening weekend.
I'm fine with that. There are this year. I don't know if I remember a year as many great freshman players, and there are a lot of good teams. I think there's 10 or 12 or 14 teams that could win the national championship this year. Most years you can't say that, and I think the tournament's going to be awesome. And just watching these players, I mean, these kids are unbelievable. I know they're not freshmen. They played AAU ball. They played all of the world, but still, they are really talented. So I think it's going to be a great March.
You say that?
I'd like for A&M to be part of some of it.
I take Zona and UConn and give you the field.
Oh, I would take the field.
You take the field? I'll take Zona and UConn.
Yeah. I mean, those are 2 good teams. They could win it. But I'd take the field in a year like this.
I got to play your Chip Howard Sports Talk madness, and you give me Zona and UConn, and I'll give you the field.
There you go.
That's the one thing I do feel like I know there's going to be some awesome madness, but I just feel like it's going to come down to one of those 2.
I don't know. There's a lot of good teams. Yeah,
it's going to be fun. All right, Chip. Olympics. They're winding down.
Yeah.
It's sad.
It
Greatest
is sad.
Olympics ever, yes or no?
I don't know if I would say the greatest ever, but until we can get the Americans on the podium for a ski jump, Lou, I'm just going to keep fighting.
That's not going to happen. I mean, what are you saying?
I'm thinking of volunteering to be a coach for the ski jumping U.S. ski jumping team. I mean, that just can't go on. They've got to have a ski jumper get to the podium.
Do you think the Chip Howard Sports
Somebody's got to beat Norway, Lou?
No one's. That's what they do. The winter. You know, they were born in the winter.
16 of their 19 medals are ski jumping.
Pick one thing and be great.
I love me some ski jumping. Those people are nuts.
Okay.
They're crazy.
I said this before the Olympics started. You got to think back to the first ski jumpers. Who said, I'm going to strap some wood on my legs,
Exactly.
go down the
Who
hill,
invented that?
and see how much further down the hill I can
Who
fall?
invented that? That's crazy.
And they cheered him on. That's the thing.
And
Because if they did it again.
Most people are too young to remember the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat.
The
for
guy
the
that
wide
didn't do
world
it
of
well?
Sports. Correct.
The guy that didn't
He went
do it
off
well.
the edge. It's amazing he didn't die.
That's not a sport to fail at.
No, you don't want to get off the hill.
That's not a sport to fail at.
You want to fly.
Chip, do you think Sports Talk could sponsor the U.S. hill jumping team?
Well, I think it would help. I'm certainly going to give it some consideration after just so disappointing a year in ski jumping again. You know, it's just every 4 years it's the same thing, Lou. It's like, why can't we get a guy to ski jump? You know, we've hired athletes for the bobsled. You know, football players and like Boone needed an offer this year. And
do we know how Boone did?
no, he hasn't done anything yet. I
Why?
don't think they've done the 2-man bobsled yet.
Well, I would answer the question.
Is C2 or 4-man? I don't know. I don't know that either.
I'm skeleton.
I'm telling you, this Canada, they got all the pressure on them right now.
Well, they have the weight of a country on their side.
Yeah. So,
Text message. I'm going to leave the name off of it.
Okay.
I'll just say famous individual who's on my show from time to time who said, I got to pull it up here. I can remember some college guys who would cheer on a buddy to do some stupid bleep. So
True.
Talk about going down the hill.
yeah. No, that's true.
Former athlete A&M.
I would bet that there wasn't a female that invented ski jumping. I bet it was a
They're
male.
too smart.
That's what I'm saying.
Women have that better survival instinct level.
After a few beers, ski jumping was born.
More than a few, but yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You're thinking correctly. It was a bunch of dudes.
Yeah.
Involving
what
a
if
bunch
we
of
did
beers.
this?
Hey,
What if we went 5 stories up on our skis and then tried to fly 2 football fields?
Can you get that plank off the stairs? I've got an idea.
Yeah. Hold my beer and watch this.
Give me some jump ropes.
Yeah.
Tie it up. Is it tight enough? It's
Yeah.
tight enough.
Yeah.
First time down, one of those goes off his foot, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then a follow-up, but I bet there was a hot female in the area. They're trying
She
to
was
impress.
waiting at the bottom of the hill.
I'm going to go off the hill.
By
Watch
the way,
this.
you don't impress hot females by doing stuff like that. I just thought I'd throw that out there. Yeah,
Wait a minute.
Men think that you do.
Wait.
Men think that you do, and that's their biggest issue, but you don't.
You don't think the female went, damn, he survived that. That's a good mate?
No.
Really?
No.
You're going against
In no
millions
one's
and
world.
millions of
Yeah.
years
Yeah, I know.
of thoughts and instincts.
Exactly.
I bet if I can survive falling down this hill, she's mine.
I tell you, part of Canada's problem right now, Lou, their uniforms aren't too good.
Oh, that's the problem. Chip, that's why you're bringing in here is for the expert commentary.
Yeah.
That's the hockey teams.
Yeah.
I got one more text message.
This would be one of the biggest upsets ever.
This
Lou.
one's from the Texas Mobile One Lube Express inbox. Says, Lou, been watching the Olympics for the last 2 weeks. A man can only take so much curling. We'll give it 2 thumbs down.
I have never seen so much curling in all my life on TV. I don't know why that they pick curling
Because it's live
this
during
year.
the day. Because it's live. It's a live sport.
Yeah, but they replay it at night. They replay it like at 4 a.m.
Why are you watching it at night? You
I'm
just
not.
watched it during the day.
No, I'm not watching curling.
Chip, you're watching curling. You just
I'm not.
admitted it. Chip, you're watching curling.
I've never seen so much in
You know
all
what
my
the
life.
first step
I'll
is, Chip?
flip over and go, hey,
Do you
let's
know
see
what
what
the first
USA
step is?
Today has. What's their live event
Curling.
today? How much curling can you do?
You got the prelims. You
I
have
mean,
the
they
post-limbs.
started, they're
You have
like
the exo-limbs.
2 weeks of curling.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because you've got what? Male, female,
I just thought they
mixed,
did.
two-man,
I just thought they
three-man.
did figure skating
The
14 days in a row.
Skeleton curling.
I didn't know they did. And that skeleton with that little bitty sled that people were. That's crazy too.
Chip, what do you got today?
Steve Denton today.
Tennis dude.
And Scott Clendenin today.
What does he do?
And Mallory today.
She does the entertainment report.
Yeah. And we'll be paying very close attention to the hockey this
And curling.
afternoon.
And
No
curling.
curling.
And curling. You
We're
know what they
curling
should do?
free.
After like the figure skaters, that they want so much figure
Now,
skating.
Czechia, they've got good uniforms.
They do the exhibition just to put more on. You know that, right?
Yeah.
We need a curling exhibition.
Here?
No, at the Olympics.
Remember when we curled those frozen turkeys?
Yes, I do. Thank you, Chip.
We still got screwed out of that deal.
Be good, Chip.
Okay.
Chip Howard, Sports Talk, 4 to 6 p.m. He joins me Wednesdays. I don't even know what it is. This is the Louie Belina Show, for better or worse, from inside the Charles Schwab studio on the Zone.
Bryan College Station's home for champions with March Madness, the Super Bowl, and the College World Series. The Zone. 11:50 a.m. and 93.7 FM.
The Louie Belina Show, presented by CC Electric. The Louie Belina Show on a Wednesday. Time now. Listen in. Bucky McMillan did his media day. It's an Ole Miss preview and more.
Bucky, the term must win is kind of overused. And I know y'all have 6 games left, but does it apply?
Good question. I think I would say, I would never put a pressure on our team in that. I think must play well at this time of year is probably what I would say. And that's going to take care, of what you're asking, right? So I think, we must play well. We didn't play well in the last game at all, and on either side of the ball, we were very fatigued in that game. We had a good practice today. We looked fresh. We looked good. So I just think we got to play well tomorrow, and as you come down the home stretch, that's what it's going to come down to. We've gone through the gauntlet of our schedule. We still got good teams on them, still got away games on it. But it was a tough grind we've gone through. And, going forward here, we got to focus playing our best basketball. And, they're all good teams, but the stretch of games, the timing of the games, the day of rest in between the games, I don't think they'll be as challenging as what we just went through.
What did you learn about your team during this gauntlet?
During the what? I'm sorry.
You said during this gauntlet, like the 5-game stretch.
Yeah.
What did you learn about it?
Well, we played 5 games. We're underdogs in 4 of the games, right? We stole one at Georgia. We gave one back versus Missouri. And I don't say that to negate Missouri. I just mean at home, on paper, we should probably win more of those than we lose that one. And they're a good team just on paper at home. Neutral site, they're play, anybody's game, obviously. I learned that when we got to the end of that one versus Vanderbilt, we had guys just after going through this deal that were very fatigued within the first 4 minutes of the game. And so, we're going to have to trust our depth a little bit more when that's the case. Our group that comes off the bench was a lot more fresh and probably played better than our first group in that game. So, I think we're going to have to trust our depth more, trying to find the balance between rest and staying sharp. And but I think at the end of it, I think that we may be on to something. And I think that in the games, if guys can only play, you got guys that played well all year long, but they can't give you everything they got, they just got to play a lot shorter minutes.
Sounds like you guys maybe altered a little bit of practice the last couple of days due to some of that. Just what exactly have been the practice parameters and just kind of the thought behind that? And have you seen some benefit from that as well?
I thought they were good today. They were fresh today, the majority of them. I think the benefits, our team, as we know, is not the tallest team. So they have to be a fast team, have to get up and down, need to be able to play well from behind the three-point line. And, to do that, you can't be in slow motion out there, right? And so our focus has been doing everything we can, not worrying about strategy as much as that our players are playing optimally. There was a time where, and this doesn't happen very much for any team, where I felt like every player on our team was playing an A-plus game some games. You look up and we make a very high percentage of threes down the stretch, and this guy played well, this guy played well, this guy played well, this guy played well. That doesn't happen a lot. In the last couple of games, we hadn't had that. And, to do that, they got to feel good about themselves. Their body's got to feel right. And, that's kind of what we're focused on. How can they be as fresh as they can be so we can play the way that we need to play?
Okay, I really hate to harp on this, but the struggle from Ruben continues. And how's he handling it? And do you have to, continuously show support, or is he just, understands it's just a part of basketball?
Yeah, in basketball, there's there's ebbs and flows of a season for a team and for players, and particularly shooters. He shot it really well today. You know, we just practiced, shot it really well. But I think that the thing that he's got to focus on, all right, if I'm not shooting well, what do I bring to the table to impact the game? Can I defend, right? Can I scrap for rebounds? You know, can I pass the ball and get other guys shots? And I think when you start doing that, well, everything else kind of falls into place, you know. And I'm no doubt, you know, I mean, he'll snap out of, you know, not making as many shots as he has. He ain't got as many clean looks. Teams are keen on him, obviously. But the more he can do with other things, the better he's going to feel about his game. And it seems when that happens that confidence is where it needs to be and everything falls into place.
You ever go through a shooting slump?
Yeah, we all have.
How'd you get out of it?
Kind of what I'm saying. You start doing the other parts of the game, and then it just naturally finds you. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it. It just naturally it finds you. It's like golf in a way, right? I mean, you know, you can have those things, and then you take 2 days off. Sometimes you come back and play your best, you know, and then you got to have that confidence when you play. But some of Ruben's deal has been that we're playing a little bit too slow in some ways on offense and on defense. And so they're able to key on him a lot more. You know, when the game is just half court, bone on bone, we got to get the game, you know, where he's able to get loose a little bit in transition.
Maybe just from a coach's perspective, when a team is in a funk or has an extended losing streak, just maybe from a mental standpoint, what's the hardest challenge in breaking that and getting back on track like you want to?
Well, I think that's why, as a coach, I'm always realistic. Like, that's why I think that I have trust with my players, and I hope I have trust with y'all. Like, I mean, call it what it is. Yep, we played 5 games, one versus the national champion, one at Alabama, one at Georgia, one at Vanderbilt, and one versus Missouri. We were an underdog in 4 of the 5 games. I expect to win every game. That's just how it is. We think that we can win every game. But we knew that was going to be a tough challenge. We won 1 of the 5. That's disappointing. On paper, it's not. People would say, yeah, it makes sense. We were in position to win 3 of the 5 with Missouri and Alabama. Could have won those equally. So I'm realistic that it's what it is. The feeling, the vibe would be different as if the schedule was flipped and we just start 1, 7. Now, I brought the stat up last night when I was at Rudy's. It's funny. So in the year that in 2016, when we won the SEC here, Texas A&M, there's a point in the season that A&M was 7-1, and they're 7-1, and then lose their next 4 games. Then on February 16th, 2016, they play Ole Miss and beat them, and don't lose a game until the conference tournament championship, and they won the SEC. It's funny how it works. Now we're sitting here, and on February 18th, we're going to play Ole Miss after starting 7-1, right? Lost 4 games, and we're right here. I mean, I expect that every game that we're going to win, I don't know. But the point is, you're going to have these through a season. And I think I built enough trust in my guys that we got to focus on playing good basketball. And, I think it takes care of itself. I can say this as well. There's well more than half the teams in the league, I would say, would want to trade places with us right now. Still having home games, where we are in the league, knowing if we can get tomorrow to 8 wins with 5 to play, a lot of teams would trade places in a heartbeat. We certainly would have all probably signed up for that in the spring before the season started and before SEC play started. So we're in a great position. We got to capitalize on it and, focus on what the heck we got to do to play good basketball. We did not play good basketball in the last game. Some of that's probably on me, not giving the right rest and getting their bodies right.
You mentioned leaning on your depth more. The way that Zach has been playing and, Ali as well, have you had any conversations about potentially changing up the starting lineup? Or I know starters don't really matter in your system. Yeah. It's more about the 5 that end the game, but to maybe get that depth to make an impact quicker on the game.
We got to do something to balance the groups better. in some regard. We're going to look at that. You know, I'm not big into your best 5 starting. I'm not even saying the guys who start now are our best 5. But we got to do something to get the groups a little more balanced here, because they certainly have. We certainly haven't got off to the starts that we want to the past couple games. That's for sure. And we can't have a situation where we're on the road. Look, I had someone from an opposing staff say, "Y'all are the hardest playing team in the league. That's what's made y'all really, really special and a very connected group. Maybe the most connected group in the league. And last game, that didn't look like y'all, you know? And so I got to look at, all right, how do we get back fresh? What are the reasons for that? Is there tweaks that we can make so that we can constantly bring the waves of energy we're used to bringing? So we're evaluating that. We could do something tomorrow to help with that.
With you know, this point in the season, with teams having more and more film on you, do you find it more difficult to be effective? Just I don't know. Do you feel like teams kind of caught on a little bit to your stuff?
Well, I think that's every team. Everybody catches on as the season goes. It becomes harder and harder for every team. That's why you see scores usually drop as the season goes. Players' tendencies get exposed more. You know, we will, as the season goes, you're better prepared because you have more information on other teams to guard the other teams. That's natural with any team I've been a part of, any team we've ever played. The defense is going to get a lot better as it goes along. The player weaknesses get exposed more and more. The player strengths try to be taken away more and more. That's probably any sport. That's why you look at the college football playoffs. It's, you know, most of the time, if it's good on good, it usually becomes lower scoring games. And at the end of the day, it becomes a player's game in a lot of ways. What I mean by that is this: everybody kind of knows what everybody does. Ole Miss ain't going to throw a surprise. We're not going to throw a surprise. So now, when that starts happening in the NBA and college basketball, it becomes now, all right, starts to become more of a player's game. Like, now can you outplay the matchup here or there? So how can we give our players the best opportunity to do that with the confidence they need, with their bodies feeling great, and playing to give ourselves the best chance to do that, right? And I think that's going to be with any team we play and any team that plays us going forward. You know, you don't see many base on out of bounds plays where teams are scoring. You're not going to see many trick plays. There's just not as much of that goes on this time of year. I'm dang sure when you start playing teams for the second time. I mean, really. So we're about to go and play a couple teams for the second time.
Got a little bit of a off-the-wall question for you. Got a chance to keep up or hear about y'all's student manager basketball team and just a little bit of the success that they've had playing other teams the night before y'all's games?
Are they playing it tomorrow? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know that they're freaking amped up about it. Like, I mean, they freaking stretching in the lobby, and they can act like they don't care, or they come back with broken hearts if they lose. So, I mean, you know, Warren, right? I mean, Warren doesn't do anything halfway. So, you know, I'll look up pretty soon. They'll be running more plays than we do.
Okay, we can call it good there when they're talking about student manager basketball. That's our listen in. Bucky McMillan, the Ole Miss preview. That's our listen in for Bucky McMillan tonight. And again, he kind of reinforced the things that Logan and I talked about, the concepts. It's obvious. They're tired. He's got to find people that are untired. He talked about, you know, how like the second team's not really second team. He doesn't have a starting 5, and he's probably going to be shuffling his lines. You're going to see new players out there. It's going to be about playing the fresh players, because fresher legs right now are better than his tired legs, and he kind of has no choice. So it'll be interesting tonight to see what the lineups look like, the rotations. You're going to probably see some combinations of 5 we haven't seen. He had the same starting 5 every game in SEC play, and then the next 5, and we might see combos of 5s we haven't seen, and it'll be the freshest 5, and the next freshest 5 might be the approach to Ole Miss. Even if some of the players out there haven't been the most productive, it might be time for some players to step up. When we come back, we'll wrap up the first hour of the Louie Belina Show, presented by CC Electric. Built on faith, family, and community, CC Electric. It's the Louie Belina Show on The Zone.
Every Monday at noon, Mitch Lyde of The Athletic joins the Louie Belina Show to talk college football and college baseball.
So let's go!
Listen right here.
Right here.
Listen in on the zone.
The Louie Belina Show, Wednesday, from inside the Charles Schwab studio. Support for you comes from Mark Sim at the Charles Schwab branch in College Station. Schwab offers a modern approach to wealth management. They, which means Mark Sim, they have financial planning to meet an investor's specific needs. Why did you call them? Got you covered. But also Schwab, Mark Sim, they have the flexibility to adapt as your needs change with time, and they will in ways you've never imagined. But for them, been there, done that, know that. They got your back. They're ready. Learn more at schwab.com/College Station. All right, still to come. Our second hour, the lunch hour, thanks to Rudy's Barbecue. We got Tony Catalina of the Austin American Statesman, 12 o'clock straight up. Then, 12:35, our monthly beer recommendations with Alan Ward of Brigadoon Brewery. Alan Ward of Brigadoon Brewery on the D4 Land Services hotline. If you ever need a metal building, custom metal building from the ground up, d4landservices.com. Check them out. There's more. Learn everything they do at d4landservices.com. So that's all in our final hour, plus one more. I'll throw up the bat signal. Somebody, could it be you, will be registered. Means you'll have a chance to win tickets to go see Creed at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, thanks to Grahalski Sausage. And I don't know about anybody else. I'm pretty fired up about that.